My good friend and co-host of the Alien in Character podcast, Ian Marchant, the other day put up on his YouTube channel a unboxing of this Nostromo from Eaglemoss. And so I put a link to that over on our Alien in Character Facebook page. By the way, if you're a fan of the Alien films and haven't discovered us yet, I urge you to seek out not only the Facebook page, which has tons of reference photos, especially if you're into hardware like the Nostromo, tons of reference photos, but also links to all our episodes of the podcast, the links to the Neozaz site, but it's also on iTunes, and I believe it's on Audible as well. So yeah, I put a link up to Ian's unboxing, and he's going to leave it as is. This is my one, and I didn't leave it as is. I decided to repaint it because Eaglemoss, with so many of their products when they were around, they've gone belly up now, but when they were around, it was always a case of lovely detail showing about the paint job. Ian's happy with the paint job, and that's fair enough. I just wanted to make it more accurate, all right? And I thought, the other day I put a link up on Ian's YouTube of it. I'll put my one up. And I scrolled down through this channel, and what I had done, I had documented what I had done over a number of parts. And so I scrolled down to look for the last part of the finished one, and I realised I hadn't done it. The last one, I think, I was just about to, or I was in the process of adding the extra struts. And I wasn't quite finished. So this, years later, apologies if you were waiting for it, is the final product. So to save you the bother of going back and having a look at the previous episodes on this build or conversion, just a quick recap. If you look at Ian's, or if you have the Eaglemoss Nostromo, the colour is inaccurate. They've gone for like a grey colour with some rather bizarre, sandy weathering at the back, which is not accurate in the slightest. I wanted to accurize it, and can I take this? Hang on a second. I'll put the phone down and I'll take it off the stand. There we go. Right, so I wanted to accurize the paint job, but in accurizing the paint job, if I was going to accurize that, I might as well try and accurize the ship a bit more. So what I've done is I've added more prongs. All right, the Nostromo's got these prongs coming out of the side at a 45-degree angle, and a whole manner of sensor arrays and that. And Eaglemoss had a stab at it, but I just wanted to add a bit more. So that's what I've done there. All right. As you can see, yeah, the detail is fabulous. But I wanted to do a colour scheme to bring it out a bit more. And this is not 100% accurate, but it's more accurate. Oh, excuse me. There we go. Right, so yeah, an awful lot of the times, models of the Nostromo are grey. The Nostromo wasn't grey. Talking to Martin Bauer, it was actually zinc primer. They just used zinc primer. And so therefore it's a metallic colour. Now, the problem I had with trying to redo this is, like so many of the hardware that was done in the 60s and 70s, back then rattle cans, spray cans of paint were generally enamel paints. All right, acrylic paints were really quite rare back then. I mean, if you had acrylic paints, it was just like poster paints and things like this. Car paints were enamel, and Martin told me that the zinc primer was an enamel with real zinc in it. But we're in a different world now. Health and safety is different. And you can't get it. Well, you can, and that's what I did. I went out and I bought a can of zinc primer. It's now an acrylic primer, but there's not real zinc in it. All it is a sort of, all you get is kind of like a metallic-y grey primer. Not at all like the reference photos that Martin sent me, right? So I had to go my own way. And as I say, if you go back to the previous episodes on this, you'll see it in more detail. But basically what I did was I went out and I bought every type of metallic that Games Workshop do, and every type of metallic that Vallejo do. And after basing it in a metallic, I then went in and I picked out all these beautiful panels in different shades of metals. And then it was a case of wash and wash and highlight and wash and highlight using Nuln Oil and Agrax Earthshade. That's why you've got a bit of a browny tint to it, all right? And that got me this, which I'm pretty happy about. What I wasn't happy about doing is, will it zoom in there, the cockpit window, which is tiny. I had a stab at that. I picked that out in black. So there we go. That's my take on the Nostromo. I'm really quite pleased how it came out, especially as when I went into it, I was disappointed that, zinc primer wasn't going to get me what I got. So I've got a can of zinc primer that's doing absolutely naff all at the moment. So there you go. This is to balance up Ian's unboxing. This is my finishing. All right. In the description just below here, I'll put a link to Ian's YouTube channel. Always worth having a look. Subscribe to it. He has pretty much weekly puts out a new piece of video content, and it's always interesting, always different to the last one. So a nice diverse collection of videos he's building up over there. So there we go. If you were, I doubt it, but if you were sitting at home twiddling your thumbs thinking, when is he going to put that final bit on the Nostromo out? Well, it is out.